And joining me now, he is the star of The Luckiest Man in America, Mr. Paul Walter Hauser. Welcome, Paul.
Jason, good to be with you and all of New York. How are you?
Thanks, man. Thanks for doing this. I got a chance to see the film, and I really enjoyed it. We reviewed it at AFI last year,
Oh,
and our writer out in LA really loved it. And he said you should definitely see this. I said I hope I get a chance to. And yeah, this was great. I'm really curious to know because I was talking to Samir before about kind of what was like where was the deviation points between the script, in the script and what happened in real life. But I wanted to talk to you. What was your first impression like when you get this script, right? What's going through your mind when you're reading it?
you know, when I got the script, I was excited because the project had come to me like a year prior to me signing on. They were trying to get it set up, I think, and they were gauging my interest. And I was like, "Oh, this is interesting, but it's not really set up, and it's hard to be attached to an independent film. Sometimes two, three, four, five. I've had 6, 7 years go by, and then you're kind of like, I'm not sure I even want to do this anymore. So I kind of kept my distance for the moment. But it came back to me through my buddy Ricky Russert from I, Tanya. He brought it back to me, and my reps had sent it to me, and I was like, let me give this another look. And I just love the world it's set in. I'm obsessed with the movie Quiz Show. It's one of my favorite films of all time, certainly a top five '90s movie for me. And I thought it wove an interesting web of psychology and the American dream and why we do the things we do, and the shades of gray and who the good guy or bad guy is in this case, which I do believe that Larsen kind of became this money monster later in life, but in this case I kind of think he just was smart. He gamed the system, no different than the Oakland Athletics figuring out the Moneyball approach to baseball. You have to find a new way to do the same thing or the best way, and he won it fair and square in my eyes.
Counting cards will get you kicked out of the casino, but it's not illegal, like, and that's basically what he was doing, which I thought was like amazing that somebody thought to do that to begin with. I think it's an incredible, it's just an amazing story.
Incredible skill set, and you think about the intellect and focus that goes into that, and you go, man, had he taken that and put it in a safer place, a better environment, he could have been a very wealthy man working for some random company rather than having to do all the get rich quick schemes.
When you read this thing, what was it about? What was it about it on the page that said, this guy is in me? Like, I can play this part. I know this guy.
Oh, I just saw the footage and the photo of him, and I didn't even have to read the script. It was just I, certain people you look at and you go, I got you. I don't know what that says about me, but I know that I can kind of I heard I think John C. Riley said it on WTF podcast with Mark Maron. I think he said something like, I did this role because it was a ball I could hit. Certain people you just see and you can hit that ball. Uh, for me, it's guys like I know I can play Teddy Roosevelt. I know I can play Chris Farley, and I knew I could play Michael Larsen.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a better. Like when I saw that you were in, I was like, oh, this is a layup. Like this is a, like you said, it's a fastball down the middle. Well, I asked this to Samir as well, but I kind of want to know for you from a personal standpoint. You're playing a real person, and this is not the first time you've done that. Obviously, is there an obligation to get it as close to that guy as possible, or do you feel like this obligation to get the truth of what the guy really was, or is the truth sort of a diving board that you can jump off of?
No, I think the truth is more the anchor. I mean, I think it's more important to emulate the essence of a person and their desires and the truth of the story than the exactitude of mannerisms and stuff. I think I throw that on top of it because I am conscious that we're living in the YouTube era. And if I play a real person, people are going to go back and it'll be under a certain amount of scrutiny that actors from the past never had to really go through. I don't think Rod Steiger ever had to worry about being exactly like the character he played. But we of course do. So I try to ground it in the truth and the essence and the spirit of the person, but then add on top, can I find the little things that they do that I think are either just entertaining for the audience or speak to a greater truth, the contextual clues that are indicative of bigger truths.
I've already seen the pictures of you side by side, with him, people comparing, and I thought, man, that's a lot to live up to. So I got to wrap up shortly here, but I was kind of wondering with with this part, was there anything that surprised you about this guy? Samir mentioned that you were going to sort of peel it like an onion. Was there any surprises in there for you?
I think Samir had his own vision for how the character, like you said, unfurls or has those layers like an onion. Um, a lot of those layers come out more story wise than they do character wise. I think his character throughout the film is quite consistent, both in its heartfeltness and yet its own deception. I think, like most career liars, he's lying to himself a little bit. I don't know that I fully buy this monologue he gives about wanting to have breakfast with his daughter. I think there's enough truth in it that, yes, he does want to be a part of the lives of these people that he loves, but if he truly loved them, he wouldn't be doing it the way he's doing it. He loves himself and he's addicted to the thrill of these schemes and these endeavors. I think back to a brilliant quote I once heard in marital counseling or therapy. Somebody said, I forget who said the quote, but the quote was, self-deception is not the worst thing, but it's by which we do the worst things. And I think, there was definitely self-deception and delusion that kind of eroded this man's character and made him go on the road to chase this, claiming it was all in the name of family and survival, when really, he's running away from responsibility, I think.
Yeah, I think it's excellent observation. I got one more question I got to get out of here, but
Sure.
I know you got a number of upcoming projects. Not
Yeah.
sure what you can talk about. I saw that there was an MCU movie on your resume. I'm sure that you're sworn to secrecy, but what can you tell us about?
Yeah, I got Luckiest Man in America coming out April 4. I got Fantastic Four First Steps coming out, I believe, July 25. Naked Gun at Paramount with me and Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson, that comes out August 1. And then I have Americana coming out from Lionsgate later in August. And that is my favorite, like one of my favorite things I've ever done. That movie Americana. I hope people see it. Bruce Springsteen. I did the Springsteen biopic, Deliver Me from Nowhere, from Fox and Disney with Scott Cooper and Jeremy Allen White. So I have a big year. Not that it's about me, but that I got to play on a lot of winning teams. So I really feel like it's going to be a fun year to be really proud of the stuff I made and got to be a part of. And I'm really hoping, of all the films, I hope that people see this little indie that could, and I hope our Marvel movie is the one of the year that everybody looks at and goes, man, that was the Black Panther, or that was the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm looking forward to seeing all these stuff. I think you're wonderful. I thought you were wonderful in this, and
Thanks, man. That means a lot. Thank you for watching all this.
hey, man, it's what we do.
It's a
But
fun job.
not too bad, not too bad. Thank you so much, and great luck with the year. And you ever want to come back and promote any of these other projects,
Oh,
come on
yeah.
back. We'd love to talk to you about them.
Done and done. We'll chat. Thank you.
Take care, brother.
This is the BTRP Media Network.